Jared Taylor, State Representative, District 139. It's good to be with you all this evening. I appreciate the opportunity once again to give an update on what the legislature did this year. We passed about 60 bills in the legislature and sent them to the governor this year, dealing with a wide variety of topics. In education, we dealt with several pieces of legislation, including charter equity funding, expanding virtual education, improving reading outcomes. Also trying to deal with the substitute teacher shortage, trying to make sure that we have substitute teachers in classrooms when necessary. We also dealt with programs for gifted education and the Missouri Workforce Diploma Program. Another bill that we dealt in the education area was expanding and extending the Fast Track Workforce Incentive Grant Program to help with students trying to get into the workforce and making sure that we've got students in all areas of our workforce. A couple bills that we dealt with in the agriculture area was bills dealing with ag tax credits. Those tax credits were sunsetting, and so we included a 2-year sunset on those. And actually, the governor disagreed with us on those, and we were in special session to address those. And we passed those, included a 6-year sunset on those tax credits to make sure that those tax credits are available for the next 6 years. And those tax credits included kind of across the board in all areas of agriculture across the state of Missouri. Another bill that we dealt with in the agricultural area was a bill dealing with property rights, making sure that we're protecting property rights from eminent domain, specifically up in northern Missouri, protecting farmers from an energy company coming in and using eminent domain to take away those properties. As you all know, we dealt with the congressional redistricting. Every 10 years, we're required by the Constitution after the census is performed to redistrict our congressional districts across the state of Missouri. And so it was that time of year, and it was a pretty interesting time. We spent quite a bit of time in the legislature trying to solve this issue. We ended up with 6 Republican districts and 2 Democrat districts, which is what our current makeup is in the state of Missouri. So we have 8 congressional districts, which is what we had previously. Another bill that we dealt with was election integrity. House Bill 1878 kind of dealt with several key issues in election reform. One of those included a requirement for a government-issued photo ID. So when you go to the ballot here in a couple weeks, you're going to need to take your photo ID with you in order to vote. We also included no excuse absentee voting 2 weeks prior to the election. Legislation that I dealt with this year specifically, I was focused on a couple key areas. One of those was the Personal Privacy Protection Act. It ended up passing as an amendment on House Bill 2400. It just protects nonprofit organizations, specifically donors to nonprofit organizations, from having their information disclosed or doxed to make sure that they are protected in their First Amendment rights to freedom of association, that they can give freely without having fear that that information is going to be shared publicly. Another area that I worked on, I'm the chairman of the Government Oversight Committee, and we really focused on some issues that we were finding within DSS Children's Division, where the Children's Division is really failing our kids in the foster care program. So we drilled down to figure out why that was happening and encouraged some changes in those areas, and also made some changes legislatively to hold this department accountable. Again, I just want to thank you all for the opportunity to serve as your state representative for the last 8 years. It's truly been an honor and a privilege to represent you in Jefferson City, to have your faith and your trust to do what's best for our area. But I appreciate the opportunity to serve you. It's been one of my best experiences of my lifetime, and I won't forget it.
My name is Hosey Ballou, and I have had the privilege of serving as the Western Commissioner of Christian County for 5 years and about 9 months. It has been a wonderful opportunity to serve the good citizens of the county that is my place of birth. and I am thankful for this opportunity. Let me begin with roads and bridges. That's always an issue in our county, and we are truly excited about what's going to be happening. We have determined as a commission to utilize our ARPA funds for things that people will still be using 20 years from now. We took the long look. And so we are in the process of seeking to replace 3 100-year-old bridges that could be condemned really at any time. And our highway superintendent, Miranda Beatles, is doing an incredible job in the preparation and the planning of that. Also refurbishing some existing bridges, like Nelson Mill comes to mind, and that continues. Paving the roads, both the chip and seal and also the asphalt paving, goes forward as money is available to do that. And we have converted another mile or so of dirt county roads into paved roads, and I'm always excited when that happens. There are other plans that are in place for the next few years as it relates to our roads and bridges. We hope that we may be able to repurpose one or more of those bridges. That could be used in a trail setting where it would be a bridge over a river or a stream. And we don't know that that will happen, but we're hopeful that it will happen. Also, I'd like to mention a purchase that we made a couple of years ago. Ralph Phillips led out in the commission's direction on that, and we were able to purchase some 40 acres on the western side of Ozark. And we have plans that will outlive us. We won't get them done, but the plan is eventually to move more and more of our county services out to that 40 acres. We also have a plan to take some of the highway frontage property on that and use it to encourage economic development in our county. And there's some wonderful things happening there through our partnership with Show Me Christian County. I also was thinking about maybe 4 years ago, I was doing a panel at the State of the Community evening, and the question was asked of me from the people that were there, does the county have any plans relating to trails? And my answer was memorable, no. And then I stopped, because we didn't at that time. But there have been things happening since then that we have come alongside the Chadwick school system and some of the things they're doing with the Chadwick Flyer Trail, I believe that it's called. That is, we were there to kind of encourage them and provide the necessary county support for them to apply for grants, and it's going along well. But also on that 40 acres that I mentioned, we plan on a trail system within that 40 acres with an area for our citizens to gather and maybe have picnics, and we just think it's going to add to the quality of life of Christian County. I am so thankful for the people who are serving Christian County in our various capacities. I start with the elected officials simply to say, we've got the best. These are good people doing good work in our HR department, which is relatively new, just the last few years. We've made such progress. Amber Bryant and her team of people, including Krista Raleigh, they have just guided us so well, and we're in a much better place than we were a few years ago. We're thankful for them. If you watch the news, you know that across the country there are crumbling infrastructures that are causing major problems. And I think we're getting a little bit ahead of that with some of the funds that we have to work with. Stormwater detention is a big area. And you can still go to the website for Christian County government, christiancountymo.gov, and there will be a place there under the work of the Highway Department where you can report flooding issues and so forth. But we think we're going to make major strides forward in helping protect the property and the lives of our citizens. We are glad to serve you as the Christian County Commission, speaking on behalf of Ralph Phillips and Lynn Morris. We're glad to be able to serve you in Christian County, Missouri.
Hi, I would like to start this year's State of the Community video explaining a little bit about what Chamber of Commerce's role is in our community. Did you know the very first Chamber of Commerce was founded in 1599 in France? That's over 420 years ago that a chamber started serving their local businesses and community. The Nixa Chamber of Commerce was founded in 1988, and in 2023, we're going to be celebrating our 35th year serving the Nixa area. Over the years, your chamber has provided many opportunities for businesses to engage in networking events, awards banquets, ribbon cuttings, business training, golf tournaments, Nixpo, Nixa printed directories and maps, and so much more. In recent years, the Nixa Chamber of Commerce has extended that role even further, creating more opportunities for Nixa area businesses and organizations to connect with their community through Sucker Day Music Arts and Crafts Festival, the Sky High Fireworks Show, the Experience Nixa app, and our website, nixachamber.com, which so far has had over 32,000 new visitors in 2022 and 70,000 unique page views. Now, here comes the part we feel that separates us from the traditional chamber role. Your Nixa Chamber feels it's important to also be a resource for our community as well. With the help of so many, we were able to once again this year bring what we think could have been one of the largest crowds ever at Nixpo Business Showcase in March. We had over 118 booths, a successful blood drive, and delicious food. The crowds were steady and full all day, and those in attendance said they had a wonderful time. Then we rolled right into Sucker Days Music Arts and Crafts Festival in May, with over 100 arts and craft vendors, 18 food trucks, 2 live stages, rides and games, Sucker Mania Wrestling Show, the Dog Show, the Pageant, Cornhole Tournament, Art Zone, Petting Zoo, and of course, a Sucker Fish Fry. The community of Nixa came out to support the event for sure. Next up was the Sky High Fireworks Show at the high school, and the stands were full at Eagle Stadium, and people all around the high school enjoyed a great night of fireworks. Also, the last couple of years, the Chamber has taken over the responsibility of promoting the citywide garage sale, and even added a fall event this year that generates over 18,000 views on a digital map and promotes people to come to Nixa and enjoy our town. The Experience Nixa app downloads have topped 5,300 and growing, and we've added a lot of new content that includes activities to do even outside of our community so that it really does promote when living in Nixa where to eat, shop, live, and play. Hopefully everyone can see that your Nixa Chamber is committed to supporting the local businesses and organizations as well as being a great resource for everyone to enjoy living here. This year we are taking on a whole new project that we are very excited about. We purchased a building at 902 West Mount Vernon, which is about a block west of City Hall, for a new Nixa Chamber office and an official welcome center for our community. We have been working all year long to get this ready and hope to have a gigantic ribbon cutting soon for Nixa. It will feature a nice welcome center, a shareable conference room, a 1,000 square foot public meeting space, beautiful artwork, sculptures, and access to information about Nixa. This has been a goal for your chamber for many years now, and we are excited to finally make it happen. We are also thankful for the additional sponsors, contractors, and donations being given to help make this possible. In addition to all the great events we help host, one of our main goals is to help foster new businesses and help current businesses through our business retention and expansion programs with great partners like the City of Nixa, Show Me Christian County, and the Christian County government. It's the economic development team which helps those new and exciting places call Nixa a home, like the 14 Mill Market coming soon, Scooter's Coffee, Alps Pharmacy's new location, and more. Now we get asked all the time, hey, when is Andy's coming? How about a Chick-fil-A or a Target? And I promise you, I wish it were that easy. We are always working on various projects regarding new and exciting opportunities, and we have meetings with developers, investors, and entrepreneurs looking to invest in our community now and in the future. As we continue to look forward to 2023, the one thing on the board of directors' mind is how do we keep thinking big? That's where our great members come in through their memberships and their financial sponsorship. Our goal is to create a chamber that everyone believes in, everyone enjoys being a part of, and everyone wants to be a member. Believe it or not every local business is a member of the chamber, and we are just asking for those who are not to please consider joining and maybe helping us by sponsoring one of our many opportunities we provide. Chambers are funded by dues, revenues, and by sponsorships. And just like everyone, we too were impacted by inflation. And we are thankful for the many businesses and organizations who support us. And we are hoping to attract more so we can keep moving forward and keep thinking big. I would like to close with what might have been the most powerful outpouring of community support we have ever seen at the Chamber. This year, at our annual Nixa New Teachers Luncheon, there were 86 new teachers. When we sent out the request for prize baskets, so every new teacher not only got a swag bag, but also a chance at a nice prize, we had 120 total prize baskets that allowed us to not only give all the new teachers a basket, but also about 40 para teachers also received a prize. Now that is what I call a good news Nixa story. I just personally want to thank all of our members, our board of directors, our ambassadors, our volunteers, our executive staff, City of Nixa, Nixa Public Schools, the Sucker Day Committee, and all those who help support your Nixa Chamber. We cannot do this without you. Oh, and please remember to check us out on Facebook, and remember to be vocal for Shop Local, and don't forget to download the Experience Nixa app. Hey, thank you for watching.
My name is Lloyd Wallace, and I'm the Chief of the Nixa Fire Protection District. I'm honored to be here again to update you on what's happening in the Fire District. Last year, we shared some history of the Fire District with you as we celebrated 35 years of service to the community. We also talked about the COVID pandemic and what changes had taken place to protect our community and our first responders. Finally, in 2021, we talked about several exciting things that were in the works that we couldn't quite reveal just yet. Some of those things I'm going to talk to you about tonight. In December, the district closed on a commercial lot at 710 North McCroskey. This was the first step in our plan to pursue a new fire station and to repurpose the original station number 1 on Main Street. Since it was built some 35 years ago, thousands of our community members and firefighters from across the state had walked through the front doors of that facility, and it was showing. The building was tired and in need of some significant updates and repairs. We had worked on every possible angle to do that while keeping personnel on site at 711 North Main so they were able to serve our community in a manner that you had grown accustomed to. We just hit hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. This led us to explore the option of a new fire station off-site and to repurpose and revision the existing building. Earlier this year, an artist rendering was made available for a new fire station that would be located on the McCroskey property. And we went out to ask our community for a renewal of the 2014 capital improvement bond. The projects from that bond were completed as promised, and it was time for us to begin discussing the future of the fire district. The new bond monies would be used to construct a new fire station, remodel, renovate, and repurpose the existing building on Main Street, and to purchase new fire apparatus and equipment for the firefighters to use in the field. I cannot thank you, our citizens, enough for your support that you showed on April 5th. Over 70% of the voters that participated in that election supported our vision of the future, and for that we are truly grateful. We are currently finalizing the design for the building and specifications that will go out to bid this fall. I would anticipate a groundbreaking for the new fire station sometime in the spring of 2023. Once that project is underway, we will begin the process to create the vision for the training center and have more to share on that part of the project. Once that project is underway, we will begin the work on the design of the training center and have more to share on that part of the project. Recruitment and retention continue to be a significant challenge for us in the fire district, as well as many of our public safety partners. Opportunities exist for firefighters around the region, throughout the state, and across the country. Many of our personnel have taken advantage of those opportunities. This year, we found a new partnership with the Department of Defense and a program they call Skill Bridge. In April of this year, we hired our first full-time firefighter from the Skill Bridge program after he completed a 3-month internship with us. In July, we became a fully vetted and registered work site for the program, and we're currently one of only 4 fire departments in the nation that holds this status. We have since fielded many calls from around the country for personnel interested in joining our department through this program. Additionally, we are exploring options with the Missouri Workforce Development and their Show Me Heroes program, and supporting a regional fire apprentice program in conjunction with other fire districts around the area. We are hopeful these programs will provide qualified and capable candidates to help meet our needs. I'd like to close this evening with some recognition for a few of our personnel. They are the ones on the front lines each and every day to fulfill our mission to protect the quality of life and the property of those who live, work, invest, or visit our community. In December 2021, Battalion Chiefs Josh Donham and Andrew Leach were recognized as part of the 2021 Top 10 in Christian County. In January, firefighter Sean Kime received recognition as Firefighter of the Year, an honor that was nominated and selected by his peers. In May, District Chaplain Steve Martin was recognized by the Nixa Public Schools as the 2021 Volunteer of the Year for his work in crisis intervention. And finally, in August, Lieutenant Brian Atwood retired from the fire district after 22 and a half years of service to the community. Thank you again for letting me be here tonight to provide this update. It is an honor to be your fire chief. Please don't hesitate to reach out if I can be of any assistance.
I want to thank all of you for attending this year's State of the Community event. This is my 9th and final State of the Community as Nixa Mayor. It has been the true honor of my life to be chosen by the Nixa voters to serve my hometown and to get to work with the incredible group of leaders, many of whom are in the audience tonight, to make Nixa such a wonderful place to live and work. With that in mind, I want to take a moment to recognize the amazing leadership staff at the city. City Administrator Jimmy Lyles, Police Chief Joe Campbell, Assistant City Administrator and Public Works Director Doug Colvin, our newest Assistant City Administrator Cindy Robbins, City Attorney Nick Woodman, Director of Parks and Recreation Matt Krause, Director of Finance Jennifer Evans, Director of Communications Drew Douglas, Director of Human Resources Amanda Hunsacker, and our City Clerk Becca Coffey. 2022 has been a year of continued implementation of our 5-year strategic plan. A lot of hard work has gone into the things we have already achieved, and several more will be accomplished by the end of the year. The city is also laying the groundwork for an additional community improvements which will occur in 2023 and beyond. Nixa continues to see amazing growth. Nixa grew from over 24,000 residents as of 2021, with continued construction including 134 new homes this year and another 187 under construction. Along with that, 729 additional lots have been plotted in the new subdivisions that are currently under development. We are also seeing growth in business development. The new Scooters Coffee and Dollar Tree stores are open and doing well, while the new location for Oak Star Bank and the 14 Mill Market are currently under construction. We've also seen investment from our governmental partners such as the incredible Atos Center for the Performing Arts and our new Fire District Station No. 1 and updated ambulance barn that will soon break ground. We remain committed to sound fiscal policy, including reducing our overall debt, which is down more than 90% in the last 10 years. This includes paying off the bonds for the X Center and Macaulay Park this year. The city also has been able to save some money over the last 8 years. Council has decided to invest about $1 million of those funds for a new inclusive playground at Macaulay Park, which replaces the 20-year-old existing playground equipment which has reached its end of life. This park is designed so that those with all abilities can play alongside and with each other. Due to smart planning by Doug Colvin and our utilities team, we are also able to reduce electric rates for all residents, businesses, and our schools, something that has been seen as a top priority of mine for many years. The City of Nixa also continues to show why it is considered one of the best communities in the state. We were recently awarded our 5th Innovation Award in the last 6 years from the Missouri Municipal League for our sensory path to the Gardens of Woodfield. This shows the grassroots commitment to innovation at all levels within city staff. Nixa has once again been listed as one of the top 10 safest cities in the state and the safest major community in Southwest Missouri. We continue our commitment to making Nixa a welcoming place and spread the message that Nixa opens its arms to everyone. The LEAD program, which aims to promote diversity and inclusion in Nixa, recently offered its first multicultural event, which brought out a lot of people to learn about various cultures in our community. Downtown Nixa continues to grow and improve with investments from property owners and the city's sponsorship of Better Block, an organization that helps communities to create experiments designed to help identify the best ways to make improvements to drive more interest in downtown. MoDOT is still working on completing the widening project of East 14 Highway. The Nixa Street Department has worked hard to get final approval for the extension of Truman Boulevard, which will connect Norton Road and improve traffic flow in southwest Nixa. This project will include sidewalks and a trail system along it. The project to complete Main Street from Tracker Road to CC is ready to go and should start very soon. Nixa's commitment to this area is also accelerated MoDOT's plans to improve the intersection at CC and Main Street. Unlike some other areas of the country, due to the hard work of our water and wastewater teams, Nixa has a high quality and sufficient water supply and sewer capacity capable of meeting our current and foreseeable needs. Nixa received a little over $4 million in federal ARPA funds. City Council decided that the best way to utilize the ARPA funding is as a city's portion for matching grants on additional infrastructure projects. This way we can stretch those dollars and use them towards projects we would otherwise have difficulty affording. Unfortunately, those matching grant opportunities do not exist for our areas of greatest need, like our police department expansion or additional parks and recreation facilities. However, they may help us to improve high-speed internet in Nixa or help us with additional water, sewer, or stormwater infrastructure projects in the future. We've made some key investments using those ARPA funds, including our new city website that will be rolled out soon using our new city updated branding and the purchase of a new management software system, making all city processes virtually paperless. Planning for the future continues, including design work for improvements to North Street, from Century Elementary through Cheyenne, and Main Street north of 14 to North Street, making those roadways safer for both drivers and pedestrians. This November, the city is asking voters to continue these investments in our community, specifically in our parks and police departments. As a numbers guy, let me tell you some numbers for you. Our current police department and X Center are over 20 years old at this point. Both of them have been used to their maximum, with the X Center being fully utilized over 85% of the time, and our police station, built for 20 officers, now servicing more than 40 today. Both were built when Nixa had a population of around 12,000. Now the city has expanded to encompass over 24,000 people, and more than 50,000 people are served regionally through our parks programs. Nixa Police received more than 41,000 calls for service in 2021. To meet that level of service, Chief says we need an additional 11 officers over the next couple of years, with the possibility of needing 80 officers by 2040. Nixa took in around $3.4 million from its current 1% sales tax. The Nixa Police Department alone has a budget of $3.7 million in 2021, leaving limited funding for other areas like trails, sidewalks, parks, or economic development. Nixa's total current sales tax sits at 1.5%. This is far below our neighboring communities such as Ozark, Republic, or Springfield, which is why they are able to invest more in these vital areas. With the increase in our sales tax, we will match cities like Bolivar, Webb City, and Willard, while we will still remain below Republic and Springfield. Nixa's general revenue tax has not been increased since 1987, when I attended this facility we are in tonight as a Nixa High School student. If passed, these investments will set us up for the next 20 years of growth. And I hate to admit it, but we're behind. We can see the improvements that our neighboring communities are making by making a choice to invest in themselves and their communities. I hope you will review all of the information that the city will be providing and be sure to vote on November 8th. And thank you all for your ongoing commitment to the Nixa community.
Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's State of the Community event. This is one of the highlights of our school year, and it's always just a fun event to be able to showcase with our partners what all is occurring in our county and in our city and in our schools. And this year, the 22 school year has been off to a great start. We have over 6,700 students across our district, and the fall events and activities that we have this year, I don't know about you, but they feel a lot more like normal to me. In the fall, being able to have fall festivals where parents and PTA plug back into our schools, and children being able to go to pumpkin patches and other field trips, and then being able to see our children working with their teachers and paras in small groups and in group activities across our district is really exciting. Over the last couple of years, there's been challenges. We've talked often about COVID and COVID-19. When a lot of folks are out there talking about learning loss and learning gaps, our teachers and our staff members in the buildings did a phenomenal job of meeting their needs during COVID. And last year in 21, when we looked across all areas, we're in the top 7% in all areas measured by DESE. And on top of that, our high school was just recently named a Blue Ribbon High School for the second time. One of only 2 high schools that have been in the history of Missouri recognized as Blue Ribbon schools. And typically less than 300 schools across the nation will even be recognized as Blue Ribbon. So big congratulations goes out to our high school staff members and faculty and staff there. And also, when you look at the high school being kind of your flagship of your district, being recognized as a Blue Ribbon also directly shows the impact of pre-K through 12th grade and how our children have such a great foundation when they arrive at the high school, and then the high school teachers just put the icing on the cake and cap everything off in a nice way. But the year's been off to a great start. If you keep up with our athletics and activities, all of our athletic programs have really been rocking and rolling in a very positive way. And then our band has been in a couple competitions already, doing very, very well. Just got first places last weekend out of 26 bands. And just naming a few of the activities that we have all across the district. It's nice seeing that we have well-rounded programs to benefit our children. As we're wrapping up this year, or looking at the forecast for this year and what's in the future, if you drive by Espy, you'll see that we're completing a FEMA shelter at Espy, and then the ATOS Center for the Performing Arts is about to be opening up here in the spring, and we've already announced our first season, and I believe the people in our community are going to be excited about how the ATOS benefits our children and also shows in that our children can learn from and our community can enjoy. Looking for the future, though, as far as planning, our community blessed us 4 years ago with passing a bond campaign and tax levy increase that helped us to give our teachers a raise and build the ATOS. I think most people would say if you keep up with taxes and in dollars that our schools are best buy. You don't perform in the top 7% in the state if you're not a high performing district and have the resources and support that you need for your teachers to be able to teach our children and our community through bond campaigns and sponsorships like we have for the stadium where we have new turf and the school board. The partnerships that we have allow us to do things that we would not be able to provide for our children if it wasn't for our community support. We typically spend almost $2,000 less per child than the state average, so the bonds are very, very beneficial. And as we're looking to the future, the new theme that we're working on, and we're doing a lot of planning, and we'll have an announcement in the near future, but a big key component of planning for the future is keeping our buildings safe and sound as they age. How do we maintain them? Just like a home, a lot of our buildings are approaching 20 years of age, so there's things that we need that will allow us to keep our buildings dry, warm, have clean air or clean water, fresh air, and to continue monitoring for future growth. The plans that we have in place when a new elementary is well over 50, possibly even $60 million, the plans that we have in place are to add on to our current buildings to meet the needs for the future growth. And then on the third part, if you look at keeping things safe and sound and then managing growth, will be just innovative programs and expanding the athletics and activities programs that we have in clubs so that we can have well-rounded opportunities for our children. One need that we've been talking about for a while is the expansion of intramurals at our high school. With over 2,000 students, everyone's not going to make the basketball team or the volleyball team or the softball team, but knowing that you can have intramurals that will allow children to be plugged into the different programs that we have and then to continue to expand our programs. We have some opportunities that have been identified in things like cybersecurity, coding, AI, and a lot of other programs that we'll be talking more to our community and with our community about in the future. But just we're excited about where we're at, finalizing our last bond campaign, having a great school year, just seeing all the success that our teachers and students are having, whether it's in athletics activities or academically. The key to our success is our employees. 82% of our core budget goes to our employees. If you have a chance, just thank one of our employees, because together, collectively, as a team, we have accomplished great things over the last few years and been able to keep our campuses safe and ensure that learning has been able to continue to occur, and just proud of where we're at as a district.